Hello, welcome to BioGrades TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. The traditional ruler that fought against colonization in Benin. The Kingdom of Dahomey, which was in present-day Republic of Benin, was a prominent kingdom in Africa which lasted from around the 1600s to the early 20th century. It had a formidable army that was feared by neighboring kingdoms. Its all-female unit of its army gained international repute, especially in Europe, where they were known as the Amazons of Dahomey. Fierce and brave their warriors were, but they were no match for the superior firepower of the French, who were bent on colonizing the kingdom. Led by their warrior king Behanzin, they fought one last battle against the French in 1894 in an attempt to secure their kingdom. Behanzin succeeded his father, Glele, as the 12th king of Dahomey and began ruling in 1889. He would rule for only 5 years and as the last independent ruler of Dahomey. Behanzin was highly regarded by his people as an intelligent and courageous leader. When he saw how the Europeans were subtly and gradually invading his kingdom, he adopted a foreign policy of distancing and snubbing them. Just before the death of his father, French envoy John Bayol wanted to meet with him, but Behanzin refused to see him, claiming to be engaged in some ceremonial rituals and obligations. Feeling insulted by his response, Bayol returned to Cotonou and began making preparations to engage Behanzin in a war once he was named king. On becoming aware of the French war plans, the Dahomeyan army decided not to wait for the battle to come to them, but rather attacked Bayol's forces in 1890 just outside Cotonou. The French held their ground firmly, no thanks to their superior arms. Behanzin and his soldiers were forced to retreat and return to Abomey, their capital. Bayol too, after the battle, returned to France for a season. There was relative peace for the next 2 years, but both sides knew it was only a matter of time before another war would start. So, both sides engaged in arms buying in preparation for the unavoidable war. In 1892, Behanzin's soldiers attacked some villages near Grand Popo and Porto Novo in a bid to restate the older boundaries of their kingdom. The French did not take this lightly, as they claimed they held interests in the villages attacked. Bayol, who by the time was the colonial governor, declared war on Behanzin. To justify an all-out war against him, the French army claimed Dahomeyans were uncivilized savages, citing the rituals carried out during the king's death and in their national festival known as the annual customs. They also used the continued practice of slavery among the Dahomeyans as reasons to attack so as to bring civilization to the area. Every excuse they gave was like this saying of French origin: "When you want to kill your dog, accuse him of having rabies." In truth, this propaganda was blown out of proportion, and funny enough, some of it still exists today. For instance, in the Musée de l'Homme in the Palais de Chaillot in Paris, there is a large print which illustrates the alleged savagery of the Dahomeyans. The print portrays a battle against Dahomey, where a female Dahomeyan warrior killed a French officer by tearing out his throat with her teeth. Meanwhile, actual traditional accounts of the event have it that the French officer in question was head of the French military intelligence who bribed family members of Behanzin to betray him. Behanzin, having executed some of the family members involved, had vowed to avenge the act of betrayal. The female warrior was one of Behanzin's wives who, while fighting in battle, ran out of ammunition and rather continue fighting than back out, had to resort to using her teeth. In any case, when the battle was fought, the French defeated the Dahomean army not just because of their superior arms, but also betrayals by Behanzin's family members, as well as by the psychological warfare carried out by cutting down some sacred trees which were supposed not to be tampered with traditionally. At the time of Behanzin's defeat in 1894, Dahomey was one of the last kingdoms in Africa to fall to European colonization. Behanzin surrendered himself to the French general Alfred Dode and was immediately exiled to Mating and then to Algeria. At his death, his body was returned to Abomey, where he was buried. His resistance to the French has been captured in many works of literature. John Plia's play, Kon'Do Le Hokian, in 1967, which earned him the winner of the Grand Prize for African History Literature, is about the story of Behanzin and his struggle to maintain the old order in Dahomey. In another novel by Maurice Kon'Do, The Last of the African Kings, 1992, the story also focuses on Behanzin's resistance and his eventual exile. He was succeeded by a distant relative, Agoli Agbo, who was France's preferred candidate. He was the last king of Dahomey before it became a part of the French colony in 1904, marking the end of this once great kingdom. What have we missed out of this history? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.